got it done. And I will be got it over here in a bit. I didn't log in the Zoom over here. However, guys, peace and greetings to y'all. Namaste, namaste, namaste. Islam, Islam, Islam. I am Brother Hassan Ghazil Bey here in Morocco at Northwest of Maxim. How are you? The original. So we're here. We're here today. My brothers in the green room are laughing. I already know. Guys, we'd like to welcome you all to our Impromptu Improv. Why concept correction part 2, right? And we're going to go over a chart today. Someone I think most of your ears are familiar with, whose chart we're going to go over. And some of you brothers out there, you're real probably familiar not only with your ears, but your eyes pertaining to this particular sentient being's chart that we'll be reviewing. But before we do that, I am here with our magnificent and beloved brother in whom we are well pleased. And he is...
Yo, you know what I'm saying? Yo, peace, blood, y'all, you know what I mean? We just gonna skip the regular introduction. You already know what the bros be calling me, man. What was that, bro, man?
Whoa. Always fun, right? So, guys, we're going to be getting this in, knocking this out with the quickness. Of course, we got, most of the 7 Hill Star astrology firm here. You guys will just be seeing I and Brother Sean, but our bros are in the green room, so you'll be hearing them. It's our beloved brothers, Terrell, Tamari Bay, and the Exalted Cyclops. And the Exalted Cyclops with us today, guys. Is kicking in the green room because we were going over this particular being's chart. And I'm just like, bro, we all can give our wisdom on what it is that we see here. I have a few things prepared for you all to really just look at this chart. We're going to have some fun. So now what I'm looking to do is to display the default wheel. Okay, there we go. That's what I wanted to see. Absolutement. Right. All right. So that's what I'm going to do. Make sure I got that there. However, without further ado, let's do things proper, how we do on Fridays and Sundays. We're going to do our invocation, and I think it is I that kicks this off, if I'm not mistaken. Right. I'll be kicking off this here. As a matter of fact, hold on. And you know what? Before we get started there, let me actually sign in here. Right. I thought it would have just brought it right up. Boom, shakalaka. So you guys will be able to see the chart that I want to show you guys. All right. So we're going to have that fun. All right. Where are we here? All right. This is looking cool. This is looking like what I want. All righty. Let's exit out of that. And bring this on up, and loggeth me inneth. So guys, we're going to go into the Moorish Holy Temple of Science Administrative Functions. You guys see here on pages 48 and 49 is our invocation in term, the Moorish American prayer. And on page 49, it is our authority, by which I think all sincere, true, and faithful Moorish Americans should really get a hold of and really enjoy. Right, when going over this, got it for the live stream, right? Keep myself co-host there. Multiple participants can screen share. Let me make that be what it is. All righty, so that's good. Let me make sure I take that one out. All righty, so with that being said, as we see, Prophet Noble Drawley is standing there handsomely, due guard in his Moor Sharif's fez, and Abba standing on the 45-degree angle, as we shall stand also on the 45. However, we'll have all 5 appendages on the left hand extended, just the index and middle on the right. Going to face east here, and you can repeat after me either aloud or in the parts. Islam. Islam, Allah, the Father of the universe.
Allah, the Father of the universe.
Father of love.
Father of love.
Truth.
Truth.
Peace.
Peace.
Freedom.
Freedom.
And justice.
And justice.
Allah is my protector.
Allah is my protector.
My guide.
My guide.
And my salvation.
And my salvation.
By night.
By night.
And by day.
And by day.
Through his holy prophet.
Through his holy prophet.
Noble Drew Ali.
Noble Drew Ali.
Amen.
Amen. Ra.
In Indeed. All righty, guys. So we're going to move right on to the first letter to be read in every meeting. Will be read by Brother Sean Aleem L. And I yield the floor. Islam.
Islam. The following is a letter written by Prophet Noble Drew Ali on the 18th day of January, 1928, Anno Domini or AD. He commanded that it be read before every meeting. Administrative functions, Moor Science Temple of America, Home Office, 3603, Indiana Avenue. Noble Drew Ali, founder, Chicago, Illinois, January 18th, 1929. To be proclaimed in every meeting, dear brother, Islam. I am glad to know that I have few faithful Moors among you all, and I desire for them to know the truth and the divine truth. There's a host of jealousy about me and the movement now by the same people of our side of the nation that claim it was only a joke and unreal. But now, since they have found out from the government officials and the nations of the earth that this is the only sole foundation that all Asiatics must depend upon for their earthly salvation as an American citizen, they are working every scheme that they can to disqualify me so they themselves may take charge of the situation. I have notified all these things to you long ago in the past. It is through the faithful Moors that contribute to the movement and uplifting funds. The ones that paid their divine respect to me and the movement will be remembered. That is why I'm calling upon all faithful Moors to increase their faithfulness to me, your prophet, and your divine Moorish movement. I need finance and I need it bad. Never before have I needed finance as badly as I do at present, that I may shove aside the discord that is facing the nation. It all comes through jealousy because of my fame and nobility. The nations of the world would not recognize the movement without me, the prophet, being the head. It has been proven by my work in which I have performed in the last few months, because I was at the governor's inauguration to represent the Moorish divine and national movement, and I will be at the inauguration of President Hoover for the same cause. Noble Drew Ali.
Indeed, indeed. Second letter to be read in every meeting is in our Moorish literature, excerpts from the Moorish Guide newspaper, again on page 12. Handsomely standing due guard is Prophet Noble Drew Ali in his Moorish Artifs, Fez, and Ba. Here on page 13, divine warning by the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Prophet warns all Muslim governors ordered to read proclamation at each meeting. I hereby inform all members that they must end all radical agitating speeches while at work, in their homes, or on the streets, as well as the internet, right? Those internet streets. We are for peace and not destruction. Stop flashing your card at Europeans. It causes confusion. Remember, your card is for your salvation. Failure to obey these orders will be of severe consequence. We are love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And when these principles are violated, justice must then take its course. Any member or group of members who hold malicious feelings toward the temple or the prophet or violate the divine covenant of the Moorish movement will receive their reward from Allah for their unjust deeds. All true Moors will and must obey the law as laid down to them by their prophet. If they lose confidence in their prophet, they should turn in their card and button, cease wearing their turban and fez, and return to the state where I, the prophet, found you. This is a holy and divine movement founded by Prophet Noble Drew Ali, and if the prophet is not right, the temple is not right. The prophet therefore is sending out the divine plea to all Moorish Americans that they do their part in protecting their prophet and the temple. This is an everlasting movement founded by the prophet through the will of Allah to redeem his people from their sinful ways by order of Prophet Noble Drew Ali. All right. So let's get on back here. Stop this screen share. Let's jump right into this one over here. Right. And we're going to share the screen there. All right. And look whose chart we have here, guys. Looky, Astro Cookie. All righty. So as you guys can see, whose solar return is it today? Well, let's see. Her solar return chart will show this here for Ashanti Shakoya Douglas, right? Most of you guys know her as an R&B singer, right? Ashanti. So for her solar return, it looks like that sun at 20 degrees Libra, 32 minutes, is in the 4th house. So that means relationships for her is the theme for this year, because her 7th house, whole sign 7th house, is on the rise. But this is also her Placidus 7th house also, which is on the rise. However, if we go back and just look at her natal chart, she has a daytime chart. So she has a diurnal chart. So we know that the daytime team is all right here: Saturn, Sun, and Jupiter, right? Sun, Saturn, Jupiter. Here's the daytime team, right? So the most benefic planet is Jupiter, even though Jupiter is technically debilitated, right? According to tradition, it's debilitated. It would be much stronger in Pisces here. However, it's in Virgo, and Venus too is in her fall. So both the benefics are in a sign that they probably don't do so-called the best. The debilitation is just exile. It feels out of place, Jupiter. Jupiter feels out of place. However, what's interesting, Jupiter in a woman's chart is normally the man that she desires to have in her life, or who would probably be the best mate. Very interesting. It's in the 8th house, dealing with joint values, joint accounts. And it's funny because she's a Libra, which would probably feel better with a partner, right? Talking about the 7th sign, naturally, and well, terrestrially speaking, tied to the 7th house. And its ruler is Venus. So Venus from the 8th, her natal 8th, but 12th to the sign that it rules, would just kind of let me know just a little bit that when it really comes to probably the way she values, for example, health, the way she values health may make her have to be a lot more diligent in what she eats, so that she may not, have, food allergies or things like that, or sensitive reactions to certain foods that may taste great, but may not be so great for, how she appears, right? That's just one thing. The most malefic planet would be Saturn. Mars here. Mars is in the Placidus 11th house. Her 11th house cusp actually is here at 28 degrees Scorpio, but since the planets are just filling it out, just looks a little different. I know if I did the chart like this, like you guys are used to seeing on Wednesdays, you can kind of get a gather and look, it looks equally spaced the houses because of the way the chart is made, but you can just tell by the celestial longitudes of the house cusps that we have an intercepted, right, Virgo Pisces axis, which means we have 2 house cusps in one sign on as above and so below. So it's 2 house cusps, the 10th and the 11th house cusps are in Scorpio, where the 4th and 5th house are in Taurus. All right. So just wanted to kind of bring it out. All her traditional planets are above the horizon. This is something that I see often in some celebrities' charts, like even Nicki Minaj has all her planets above the horizon. However, with that being said, what I'm actually seeing here with the most malefic planet, traditionally speaking, because the nighttime team, of course, is Luna, Mars, and Venus, right? So they're all diurnally placed, which means they're all, on the side with the sun in a diurnal chart, right? It's a diurnal chart, of course, right? So all the planets are diurnally, they're all in a diurnal chart. They're all diurnally placed, right? And of course, the sun is in highs, which means it's doing great. And so is Saturn. Saturn is in highs while it's also exalted, right? Just to give a few things there. And these are just some points that I'm pointing out. We're about to get into detail in a bit. I'm going to yield the floor to Brother Sean so he can get into detail. I just wanted to point out that when we go to look at what these different planets that I was mentioning, what houses they're ruling, and the houses are the areas in someone's life. In your life, also, like where you go and get your natal chart, and we look at your natal chart and we look at, different areas that are being ruled by certain planets. It's just like, okay, so when it comes to this particular area of your life, by this planet being here, situations may have turned out for you like this. So I just wanted to just kind of give you a brief overview of the things, because normally in traditional astrology, you don't go past Saturn. So Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto are normally not considered, but we do a little mixture here of looking at things traditionally as well with a modern twist. All right. So with that, I yield the floor to Brother Sean O'Neill, bro. What is it that you would like to go in on with Ashanti Shakoya Douglas? They made sure they fit all the vowels here, man. A, E, I, O, U, and sometimes Y. You know. Anyway, I yield, bro.
Well, you know what I'm saying? We, 7 Hill Star coming right in on time, baby. But that's curious too, because you was sitting there going in, and like I kind of looked at the chart again. I was like, man, I wonder if her pops had won a settlement in her younger years. I'm curious about that. Like, yeah, and then we was looking at like her, North Node, 17 degrees Libra. I mean, pardon me, not 17 degrees Libra, 17 degrees Leo, which is a Leo degree. So it's in its own sign, and it's conjunct the vertex. So 7th house is dealing with relationships, contracts. So it's definitely warm, I could say, and just probably had a lot of friends too, right? We'll look at that, like, and then if we look at the cusp, it's at 9 degrees Cancer, moon's in the 11th, right? So we got a Sagittarian degree with a Luna being at Aquarian degree. So is it just and it's the internet. So maybe she either met a lot of people, or she might have traveled. I wonder if her dad was like a preacher or something too, or maybe she was able to travel young to different places, or whoever was the traveling parent was able to like bring gifts back to her, from different places. With that, right, Saturn's ruling the ascendant. Saturn's in the 9th, right? And Sun's in his favorite good house, the invoking, calling upon house, right? 2 degrees we know is a Taurian degree. So, and it's at 9 degrees. So, I wonder if during her younger years too, let's see, what's the 5th house? Cause Taurus, Venus is in the 8th, not feeling the greatest. Actually, nah. I can't even stop laughing, yo. I'm just yeah. So Saturn in the 9th, it's dealing with law and religion. So, maybe she could have been justified and maybe wanting to speak up for others while she were young. Let's see, 17. So it's definitely just out of the beams, right? Or probably just like right out of the beams. So very good, right? Mercury and Scorpio in the 10th house. So that's just making me think about like hidden contracts, or man, I sure hope she read or maybe renewed that disclosure agreement if she ever signed one of those for a career, right? Venus ruling creativity, Mercury being the communication. Mercury and Venus is in a separating sextile, so that's some good harmony there with that energy. We got a part of spirit in Scorpio, but that part of fortune though in the 2nd house, in Aquarius. So it made it seem like maybe her finances being ruled by Saturn, but also in with help with that's Uranus being there in the 11th. So it's just giving she had to let her light be shine. And wow, I wonder if she really got into charity at a young age, because it made me think maybe she was like really involved in that church. This is what I'm getting with that energy. Chiron in the 4th, dealing with wounded pain and Taurus. So maybe she had to overcome a lot of pain. Would you get that? It's reflect Mercury, that 15 degree Scorpio. So maybe she had a lot of values crushed, or a lot of things, maybe even dealing with other women. Maybe she wasn't even accepted by, women in her younger life. So maybe she had to communicate and learn some things. Mars ruling in midheaven. Mars is in the 11th. So it's some value when it comes to like the self-transformation and just being optimistic and some would like to say ambitious. So yeah, maybe sometimes she wasn't clear of the best way about moving forward with things, or when it came to certain passions, maybe her passions was her downfall at times, from just being too freely and going without actually kind of having some foundation behind it. Yep, Saturn. Yeah, bro. At Mercury and at midheaven.
I think she really enjoyed singing, but didn't like the career about it. Lilith conjunct the midheaven, so to speak, and conjunct this 10th house cusp, just 3 minutes off of it. Very tight conjunction at the Cancer degree. It's funny, it's ruled traditionally by Mars, Cancer degree for the midheaven as well as the 11th house cusp, both Cancer degrees. I think that's important there. Because there's something maternal there. There's something that's dealing with either security or insecurity, not just to the voice, but also just wondering if she would ever be recognized for her voice. So I have to deal with the fascination and denial of, which just kind of brings out some type of mediocre response of some way, shape, or form. However, her starting her career, part of spirit, out in a peak period, right? 15 years. And so if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure if we're going to look up some information, she probably got her, the taste of singing, right? And it was probably behind the scenes. She probably did some backup singing by this being Scorpio, which led to a career, with 10th house and part of spirits in the 10th house, right? Fascination and denial may have come from how she appears to be, how she looks, right? As far as her status, also, we know ascendant is more tied to the health. With Saturn there in the 9th, kind of makes me think of somebody who probably had to do some lessons or some teaching, or really had something really fortunate as far as coming across the right beings that could really teach her the values of how to balance some things out in her life so that she can actually have some structure while maybe having to travel probably far away to do certain things for her career. But her career started out in the peak period, right along with her health. She had a peak period for 15 years for her career and 30 years for her health right here. Interestingly, this being the 10th house, right, pertaining to status, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 houses away, which deals with creativity, right? This makes me think also to a certain extent, probably around that time where she was, being looked at for singing, and really came down to a audition or something, because I really don't know her background. I just remember when I was younger, I remember seeing her in the audience in Apollo, and people was like, what? And I was like, yo, that's that girl that's supposed to be singing. I didn't know who she was, but I was really heavy myself into the R&B world younger. So anybody that was like up and coming and I knew who they was, I could spot them, because I was like kind of, just looking at who's who without even really having the means to study them. But I recognized she was in the audience on Apollo, right? What I also recognized about this, maybe when it came to some type of audition or major step, she probably dealt with some type of health issue, right? And it was dealing with her throat, right? So she may have had like a strep throat situation, or she might have lost her voice temporarily. So it had to be scheduled for a later date, but I'm pretty sure around the time she's getting discovered, it's within the first 15 years of her life. Looking at that peak period of, this fixed setup here, right? So, 15 years for Scorpio, because it's ruled by Mars. And after that 15 years, she went right into a 12-year period for Jupiter. So that would bring 15 plus 12, gets you 27. So it's 3 more years left lined up with this part of fortune at its peak period for health. So then after those 27 years, goes right into this 27-year period all right, for Capricorn, which is really where her part of spirit is now, should be right here, right now, right? And just kind of looking at that in this part of fortune now should be moved on into Pisces, right? So there's a sextile that's probably between the two, which means there's a peak brewing because this Pisces part of fortune is only going to last for 12 years, right? And we could actually, just calculate in our own minds what it is. So she manifested in 1980. So we know by the time we get to 2010 is when this peak period is over, right? 2010 would have made it, hold on, let me make sure, 80, 90, 2000, 2010, right? That makes her 30 in 2010, right? Are we agreeing on that? It makes her 30, right? In 2010. So now we're looking at,
Mm-hmm.
a 43-year-old Ashanti. So technically, she should be into this Aries period now, which means she should be in another peak period now, because this is a cardinal peak between now the part of spirit pertaining to career in Capricorn and the part of fortune pertaining to health now in Aries, which makes me think in this part of her life, she's going to probably, if we go and look at this solar return chart, her seventh house natally is Capricorn, is Cancer. Now that's what's on the rise for her solar return. All right. And I mean, and if we looked at this in a similar art chart, right? Let's just kind of look at it in a similar art.
No, baby.
Right. Let's look at this in a similar art wheel fashion.
Ooh,
right?
that wheel was hard right there. What was that one?
Huh? Which one?
The one just before, like that. Kind of like it had some like some art or something. I don't know what that was. That joint was hard.
What are you talking about? This one?
Yeah.
Really? Oh, that's much more. I didn't add bells and whistles on the side of that one. That's why, but I can. You know what I mean? Then you got this one too. Got that Egyptian vibe, as people would say, right? But let's see. Could do an angel one, right? Oh, could do that. She's an R&B singer. This would be apropos, wouldn't it? Anyway, interestingly, right? I'm going to just use that one. Let's see. Yeah, the rest of these are just kind of like a little artsy, a little. I guess that one's not too bad right there. Also, kind of looks like off of the sphere of a planet or something. Okay. So with that being said, looking at this because I have some bells and whistles set up for this style chart, right? Let's see, what do we got here? Right, this is our solar return chart, right? And what I'm just looking at for today, this is what's happening with her. And like I said, her seventh house cusp is on the rise, but we know natally that part of spirit is in Capricorn and the part of fortune is in Aries. So with looking at the part of spirit here and the part of fortune here, kind of lets me know there's something that's going to go on mixed with career and probably matrimony in some way, shape, or form. I know that there was some things that popped up in social media about, her and the entertainer known as Nelly or whatever. And looking at that, it just kind of lets me know. What'd you say?
Wait a minute now. I'm just like,
let me in now.
let me in now.
It's interesting because Pluto's there. So this is like going to be a transformation to relationships for her. All righty. A super transformation for relationships, actually. And I think that is pretty interessante, right? Day of Venus, hour of moon. Yes, that's a lot of information there. She's running into that, but it's all good. Right.
So eighth house perfection year too.
Absolutely. 43, right? Because this would be
Mm-hmm.
36, 37, 38, or we can do 48, 47, 46, 45, 44, 43. So definitely some joint finances, maybe moving in together, possibly. Interestingly, those Saturns here. So there's definitely some type of limitations to the joint financing situation, but there's definitely gonna be some transformation in how she's relating to her relatives, as well as when it comes to love and relationships, maybe some type of commitment, some commitment transformation taking place here, especially with we know we're just looking at it, and maybe we can just prove it. Like I just don't want to just talk like, well, her part of spirit should be in Capricorn and part of fortune should be here in Aries. I mean, we can definitely take a look at that. And then we'll eventually just do some Wikipediaing. If Brother Sean, you can just start looking that up. But let's look at our Hellenistic Time Lords and just see a couple of things real quick. Right. So what we're looking for, I know I have all 4 levels right now to look at. I started this early, huh? I'm not going to get what I want to get. So let's actually change it to today, right? And hit okay. This is for spirit. So like I said, I think her part of spirit should be in her whole sign 7th house, which is dealing with Capricorn, right? So here we are, September, right? So look, like I said, spirits in Capricorn, bing, all right. Um, and on the 28th, so hey, look, man, just recently she stepped into level 2 period that changed, right? However, we're here at her solar return, so that means this morning she went into a Pisces period. So we can look to Saturn and Jupiter in her chart. It's funny too, because if you look at her Fedaria, she's in a main Saturn Fedaria period with a Jupiter sub period right now, bro. Which is very interesting to see how Saturn, which is in exaltation in Libra for her, which means, she has no problem executing, you know what I'm saying, once good judgments are made, right? But if we look at this right here, look, she entered that, because it's not December 2023 yet. So she's in a major period of Saturn for her Fedaria. So we know Saturn and Jupiter are really kind of ruling over this time in her life right now until Jupiter completely rules when it comes to the 14th October 2031. So we know right now, currently, until about the 5th December 2023, when Mars takes over in the sub period, Saturn and Jupiter in her natal chart. We know Saturn was in the 9th, Jupiter's in the 8th. So if we look at the combination of those, we know also that Jupiter is ruling over. Technically, it's the co-ruler with Saturn to her 2nd house. If we look at it Placidus, but whole sign, it would be her 3rd, while Sagittarius is on the 12th house cusp for her. So Jupiter in Virgo, which means it's feeling out of place, is ruling over the bedroom, 12th house, and communication, 3rd house for whole sign, but it would be ruling over finances, values, and possessions for her. It will be co-ruling with Saturn, which is in the 9th, while also exalted in Libra, which Saturn is also ruling not only her 2nd house with co-rulership with Jupiter, but also Capricorn is on the ascendant. So it's letting me know that when it comes to the way that she presents herself, the way when it comes to her values and even communicate, and even when it comes to bedroom health or secrets, or even maybe dealing possibly with hospitalization issues, or maybe taking some type of spiritual decision-making opportunity to really have some closure in her life of other things that she may feels that's holding her back. She can really kind of, she's been dealing with it for, let's see, since May 10th of 2022. So it's been over a year since really kind of grasping these things, kind of it's like this bonsai tree type energy. Like Jupiter would be the monk and the bonsai tree would be Saturn, and finding a way to really chip away at some things, but really, snip away at some things, pruning and preening, so to speak, and being able to have something so solid when it comes to her psychological health, her spiritual health, and her physical health, right? So soul, spirit, soul, and body, right? The spiritual health for spirit, psychological health for soul, physical health for the 5 cycle, which is the body, and be able to really hone in on how she does things, what she values, how she communicates, and how she's able to allow herself to do some proper self-undoing with Saturn and Jupiter both ruling over her 12th, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd houses, depending on how you slice it as far as Placidus or whole sign. So that's why I said I know that we're looking at her for Daria. That's what we're looking at right there. And it's funny too, because Jupiter in her daytime natal chart is the least benefic, the most benefic planet. So she can really do some really great self-reevaluation in this year and about a half, 5 and 12, 7 months, about a year and 7 months-ish, a little less than 7 months, maybe a year, 6 months and 25 days. She's able to, handle that kind of energy while still dealing with this Saturn energy. But Saturn in her chart is exalted. So I think also probably taking classes or maybe even teaching would be really good for her all the way up to the 14th October, 2031. All right. So with thinking about that, keep all of that in mind, guys, and just think of the things I said, because when we get to the portion where we're kind of looking at some, what is it called? Wikipedia, this might be like a little different, right? But back to her Hellenistic Time Wars and looking at the Zodiacal releasing, like I said, her part of fortune is clearly in her first house, right? First whole sign house, right? So I really think you guys are going to probably be seeing a lot of Ashanti. However, it may be dealing with how she appears in relationships, because in her solar return chart, of course, her 7th house cusp is on the rise, which will put her first house on the 7th whole sign, even the 7th Placidus solar return chart. So now even look into this, and as I was talking about that Saturn, right? Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, and then Sagittarius on level 2 and level 3, and then level 4. Today she begins that Pisces period. And remember, Pisces is her whole sign 3rd house, but it is intercepted within the 2nd house for her Placidus chart. So this just really lets me know that this is where she gets to kind of maybe say some things that's on her mind and have some actual closure. Maybe she's ending some business ties, business relationships, or maybe making some type of changes for herself where she's not listening to too many other people. She's going to make spiritual decisions. She's going to probably go to some type of spiritual values, maybe tie them in with some wisdom from maybe some earlier foreign yet possibly some type of religious influence, right? So it may not be from a perspective that maybe most people think she was raised under. Maybe she's really into Buddhism or Hinduism or something like that, right? However, this is really allowing her to really bring the structure necessary and discipline that she always kind of felt that she wanted, right? With Capricorn on the rise, make someone a late bloomer, possibly, and having something that they really want to tend to, just like kind of sort of having Saturn in the 1st house, right? So I just kind of wanted to just, point that out as far as her time was concerned. And Brother Sean's right. We look at her perfection. She should be having an 8th house perfection. So we're just going to bring this down a little shumpin', right? It's kind of the year we're looking for. All right. Brother Sean is correct the Mundo, because we have an 8th house here beginning on the 13th October 2023. That is today, right? So that's when it begins. And then on, we can see just about 9 days later, it's going to be at 8th house energy, right? It's going to be sextile to Pluto. So it's very interesting to see. It'll be very interesting too if you guys see that, Ashanti is with child. Like, oh, she's 43 and she's pregnant. Like, yeah, it's possible. But, guys, if you haven't heard it or you are hearing it, for the first time here, just remember where you heard it and schedule your Mirror AstroLiteracy sessions where you can learn how to read astrology yourself. by having a one-on-one session with me, all right? Also get your mental magician reports from Brother Shaunaline L. So you can really see that most important thing when it comes to your interaction with people, how you think, how you communicate, pertaining to Mercury, how Brother Sean will really just break that down for you in a report that he puts together himself, all righty? From top to bottom, you guys will not be disappointed with that mental magician report at all. So now we got a few of these pieces out of the way. We know she's having a Saturn, Jupiter for Daria, right? We know that that's happening. She's having an 8th house perfection with the Saturn, Jupiter for Daria. We know Jupiter's here in the 8th while she's having the 8th house perfection. So it's activating, of course. Placidus is activating the sun because the sun is ruling the 8th house cusp, and it's also activating Venus and Jupiter, which means in the Placidus chart, we are seeing there is an activation of her 12th house as well as her second, right? Because as we can see, all of Pisces is all within the 2nd house, which is going to bring Saturn into it also, even though it's a 8th house perfection, but we having a co-rulership issue here, so to speak, which is not really an issue, but you know, just
bro, you gotta see this.
Huh?
I said, okay. Bro, yeah, let me show you this real quick, bro. You might get the screen share real quick. Yeah.
There you go. I'm on what we on
Look
point? We on point
this. Now, I ain't even looked at her thing yet, but when you for some reason, once again, I was sitting there, it's like, all right, I'm gonna look at a secondary progress. So here, April 30th, 2020, she had that full moon secondary progress. So it's like she probably, I don't want to say like she had to change. She had to change everything up that she was known for. Or she could have really been seeing the fruits of her labor, you know, from her music career and relationships and everything. But she had to make a change. Like, you look at that cross, like the descendant's going to reflect the ascendant, but then her sun and moon's both at 0 degrees. So it's like, you know, it's giving me, she had to give up her whole personality, or, you know, it's just a major shift and change in how she really looked at things. Like that Jupiter progressed, it's had it, you know, into a conjunction with Saturn. So
it is.
Wow,
Question,
let's see her.
Did she write a book, or she's doing something real strong with writing? Because that sun and moon in their joys are at the draughtsmanship degree.
I guess we can look that up too.
Okay, so that's something to keep in mind also. So we're looking for early, like singing career getting started at an early age, right? Within the first 15 years of her life, getting like some type of glimpse of it. Looking for something dealing with health for up to 30 years old. Looking for something with writing at the age of, say 2020. So this was before she was 39. Right? Because she didn't quite turn 30 yet, because it wouldn't have been until 13th October of that year. So she's 39, obviously, at that point. So that would be good to look at that. Like, was there a book or some type of writing being done? I'm curious. I don't know if Ashanti wrote a book or something, guys. If you guys know, okay. Brother C. Thomas says Islam. He says 5 on the left, 2 on the right. I see that one. He says air sign. Happy Holy Venus degree. Mother Sahar says C. Thomas is he's tapped in, man, because he's like and he's laughing on certain things. Like, yo, we got to get all the facts. Psychological, soul, spiritual, spirit, yeah, physical, 5 cycle, yes, indeed. So go ahead, bro. How you, brother Sean? Islam.
Yeah, I was just bringing that up too. Like for that, yeah, see if her dad or somebody in her family got like kind of a settlement or something for that. Yeah, because I just want to look at secondary progress, because that came up for me, and it's like, okay, well, we can see this happened, you know, like the fruits of her labor, different changes to her thing. You know, this is like setting up like another major period after this April 30th, 2020. So yeah, we can look up a book too. Yeah,
that's what I had. Cross too, bro. Grand Cross. What I yield. Fortune is T-squaring that joint. But of course, because it's a full moon, of course, fortune is going to be on either the ascendant or descendant. So
Correct.
That's a go figure. Spirit's there too, so that's a go figure. But it's just like, that's a grand cross, bro, because the sun and moon and ascendant and descendant are all at 0 degrees mutable.
That makes me think. So and that's right there on the, well, you know, it's gonna be on the 7th. So it's like, is that when? I don't know. You know, I guess we have to look to see about her relationships or contracts or whatever, you know, was going on during this time. Maybe she got some kind of publishing. Let's see, because it's Mercury rule. Mercury's in Scorpio, right? Progressed. And I think that's, let's see, 10 degrees, which is a Capricorn degree. So yeah, maybe something doing some kind of figure, right? You know, it's in this chart in the 8th. And I think, let's see, Scorpio's ruling like her, was it 10th and 11th house in her own natal?
Hold on, you said in the natal, you said 10th and 11th. Yes, Scorpio is 10th and 11th at Cancer degrees. 4 degrees for the 10th house cusp, 28 for the 11th house cusp.
Right. So it makes me, if she even something came up about like her publishing or streaming of some sort. So yeah, that and like what you were saying about the writing, like
that would make sense. But Uranus is still there, progressed at that time. Yes, that would make sense that maybe she definitely took control of her publishing a certain way. That does make sense. That actually does make a lot of sense, bro.
So that was that. Let's see, where we at now? Are we going to Wiki or are we looking at some more things? I just wanted to show that.
I'm showing her secondary progressed right now. Which of course the ascendant descendant is still Pisces Virgo, which would be natally if we did whole sign 3rd and 9th. So that's interesting because even right there, her 3rd and 9th is on the ascendant descendant, but we know Placidus, it would still be within the 2nd, you know, they would be within the 2nd house, you know what I mean? But yeah, man, like to really just see this and see it unfold is really amazing. I guess if we did some solar arcing, you know, maybe we could look at quite a few things, you know what I'm saying? Hey, look at that. All right, that's the secondary progress for 2020, right? Not bad. So if we just kind of look at her, if I'm thinking natal chart wise, right? If we did some solar arcing with what we have here for the natal chart, I wonder if there was some hospitalization for her at the age of 19. I think she was about 19 years old. There could have been something, and maybe like she broke a bone or something. Some possibility she was possibly hospitalized for some type of broken bone of some sort at 19. I'm also looking at when that Saturn, right? That Saturn is at 2 degrees Libra, and that 10th house cusp is at 4 degrees Scorpio. So it lets me know when she was, before she turned 21, I think something really popped off with her career too. Something that might have been really beneficial for her career. I'm not sure if there was an award or something that happened, to be very honest with you. I'm still sticking to around about within the first 15 years, there was some type of discovery of her singing because the sun actually is solar arcing that 10th house at about the time she's about maybe 13 going on 14. Right. And then when she's about 36 going on 37, I think that's when the whole meeting the man thing might have happened. So we got to see, like 37 years old would have been 6 years ago. So, or maybe that was the change. Maybe that was the breakup or whatever, so to speak. I will say that's 30, 54. I think at 54 years old though, which is interesting because that'll be in another 11 years when Ashanti turns 54. I got a feeling that they're going to have her in a magazine because they're like, oh, she's 54 years old and look how she looks and all this, or she's really really huge on health and things of that nature, or she's going to have some type of like health and beauty type of, you know, care or hair care or something like that. You're really going to see that by, you know.
Uh-oh, bro, got you froze. Still froze. Yep. My brother Corey voice.
Gives me 16. She had to have been on the radio, bro. By
oh, bro, it had you like freeze out for like 10 seconds. I was just about to, you know, say Visit Seven Hill Star. Yeah, it's like whatever you were saying, bro. You have to reset
I'm gonna
over.
Still stick with what she was about. Let's see, that's 7.
You said when she's gonna be about, I think 50s or 60s. You was like she's gonna be featured in a magazine.
54.
Yeah, 54.
54 years old, might be featured in a magazine dealing with beauty and health care or hair care products or something like that. It's going to be something to that extent in about 11 years, I think. So that'll be 2034, maybe even up to 2035.
What if it's like her own publishing she come up with too and features herself?
That's possible.
In another way.
That's very possible. Very, very possible. But yeah, just kind of looking at that, man. And it might even also deal with the fact that not wishing divorce or anything like that, but maybe it's something, if not divorce, just some type of like adjustment in relationships for her also, maybe. So just kind of looking at things like that. Let's see. I think we've given up enough information, maybe. I mean, did I go into her midpoints? Not really. Let's see, what's some major midpoints that we're seeing? Her sun is midpointing Mercury and Jupiter in her chart. It's midpointing that, I mean, like literally conjunct the midpoint between, Venus and Mars. Very interesting. So the energy of the sun just bringing on Mercury and Jupiter, Venus and Mars just really speaks to, for me, being able to really sing. But there's limitations to that singing, especially with Jupiter, technically by whole sign being ruled by Mercury, really, or the Mercury's in Scorpio. So it does make me think to a certain extent that she really wanted to voice her opinion about backgrounds or things in the background too. That's why I'm thinking, was she really a background singer first and foremost? How she got started, honestly. And we just don't know that was her on those songs, right? So that's that for the sun. And let's just look to the midpoints for what we know is ruling her for Daria, right? Saturn and Jupiter, just looking at it real quick. And then, Brother Sean, you can share your screen on Wikipedia. So looking at this Saturn midpoint tree right here, very interesting to see, you know, if I just look at the conjunctions, really, I know there's a semi-square, right? Saturn semi-square, the midpoint between Moon and Pluto, but I'm really looking at, you know, her ego and personality, which is ruling the 8th house, and Venus is in the 8th, of course, you know, ruling over, if I'm not mistaken, Venus was ruling over her 4th and 5th house, as well as her 9th house.
Correct.
Right. So, you know, that's just kind of letting me know how it is when it comes to home and educating, and maybe even when it, you know, as a child, I'm not saying that she wasn't really great at being a student. I'm just saying that there may have been some challenges there. So maybe at the end of the day, this will kind of show that maybe she had a tutor, right? Here's like this disciplinarian / teacher, midpointing the energies pertaining to our ego and personality, and Venus in its fall in the 8th house. So Venus is terrestrially out of place, as well as, you know, stumbling, you know, but Saturn's there in the 9th. So there's some type of, you know, 9th house, which deals with higher education, exalted energy at a Taurus degree, which is definitely going to bring, you know, some serious values to better those things for her. Being conjunct the midpoint between her Mercury and her North Node, how she thinks and communicates, and what our soul's destination is. I think that played a lot of influence on her, to the point too, I think she may have an interest in law a certain way, in some way, shape, or form. Probably had dreams of becoming an attorney or wanting to be a lawyer, but those things got changed because she was like, it just seemed like they got to do a lot of hours of study to her. So she probably quit that. Saturn also midpointing the Venus Pluto midpoint. So again, it's just letting me know about, maybe her feeling secure about her self-expression. And when it comes to, publishing, maybe she was really, she always wanted to travel. Maybe she really digs like, hey man, I want to be able to have a really dope trailer or like tour bus style type of situation here. So I'm kind of seeing that. Very interesting too, how Saturn is midpoint in conjunction to the Uranus North Node midpoint, midpoint also. I think that's interesting. Sudden changes too in her soul's path and soul's direction. Jupiter, right? Because Saturn and Jupiter is the Fedara that she's in right now. Jupiter's just semi-squaring, right? So there's just Jupiter's midpointing where there's a 45-degree to the midpoint for Sun and Mars and Pluto, Saturn and Neptune, which really just, for me, all speaks to, how she really, shares herself with others, in relationships, because this is the rule of the 8th house. We know that Mars is ruling the 10th, 11th, as well as the Placidus 3rd, but whole sign 4th. So, really working on communication and sharing her space. It's probably a little tough, but because maybe she may want it a little more than others. Also, when it comes to, maybe having those different transformations, maybe really wanting to be a mother, but at the same time, maybe finding that things aren't really ideal as she maybe wanted. I don't know. Does Ashanti have children? That would be something to know. It goes to show you. I'm glad when I do people's charts where I really don't know what their background is, because usually what gets put out there anyway and what gets published, it's not like you're not there really witnessing it, but we can do some pretty solid speculation. It'd be really great if she was here to confirm things. However, and then when with Saturn, of course, being exalted, ruling her ascendant in 2nd house, right, just really shows. And Neptune is clearly in her 12th house. However, ruling over the 12th house cusp, which terrestrially is doing pretty swell. And Saturn is exalted. I will say here, it just lets me know that there's just some slight challenges possibly when it comes to maybe expanding. Where will she be expanding? Really, the way she wants to talk, things that she wants to say on her mind, even when it comes to communicating with someone she's in a relationship with. Maybe a few challenges in really instituting what she really wants to say, especially when it comes to expressing how she feels. I'm going to yield there, Brother Sean. What does it say for Wikipedia? I know we said quite a lot, so whoever's listening, we can see like that. You can comment there in the chat on YouTube here and really say, what it is. You know what I mean? Brother C. Thomas says her quote unquote book going through chapters in life. He says he was thinking that earlier. And Brother C. Thomas also says, all right, Buppy, you over there, man, snoring and talking in your sleep, man. You hear him, man? You hear him? I was trying, C. Thomas says, I was trying not to be subjective, but mother cool as the wind from the observation that he perceives. We all students still. Yeah, indeed. Indeed. All righty. So what we got here? Yeah, early life is good. Let's see what we got for this early life situation, right?
Her grandfather, James, a civil rights activist who was associated with Martin Luther King Jr.
Walking on Selma, huh? Right?
On Selma. Let's see. Overheard her singing Mary J. Blige Reminisce at age 12.
Interesting. Her mother was a dance teacher. And her father was a singer. I don't know about this African American stuff. That's some fiction stuff. So, because most people, it's funny when you go and look up certain artists, like even in Google, they'll say American comedian, American singer, American actor. They don't give that fiction, and if they're copper tone and it says American, it's not fiction. But if they're pale skin, they're clearly not American, respectfully. Because remember, we tell the truth here. We don't go along and get along, because of what everybody else may know. We don't do that. So, and it says she's the oldest of her mother and father's children, with a younger sister, Canacia. All right, so cool. Or Canacia. Shanti's mother, named after, cool. Yeah, right. Shanti Empire, cool. Women had power and influence. Tina wanted Shanti to follow that model. That's interesting that her mom wanted her to follow that model. It must means that there's something about, feeling, someone not feeling so powerful to want to name someone after, something powerful, give an appellation or energy to someone like that. Look at that. See what that says? See what that says? First sentence of the second paragraph. Oh, wow. That says background vocalist. Interesting. I think I said that. Look, I promise y'all, I've never seen this. This is my first time seeing this, just like whoever else is seeing this. Wikipedia is my first time seeing this. Like, we literally impromptu improv this joint before we went live. It was like, okay, Ashanti, we'll go over Ashanti. But Ashanti was like, yo, it's Ashanti solar return day. I was like, okay, cool. Boom. Typing in my computer. Let's knock that out. Cool. Wow, she was first featured as a background vocalist on rapper Big Pun. That's interessante how we roll. But need to look at that first sentence at the top there. Ashanti's mother discovered her what? Say what? What? At what age? Remember I said something about singing being discovered within the first 15 years of her life? Look at that. Right? Because Reminisce was released on her solar return. Interesting. In 12 years. So she had a Jupiter return.
Mm-hmm.
And Reminisce was released. I gotta admit, like, it's no knock to Mary J. Blige, but I know how, those R&B songs, especially like Mary J. Blige, they're very sad, right? So you're hearing this sadness over and over again, the social engineering of the unconscious Moors that are misclassified as Negro, Black, colored, African American. The songs that are propagandized, repeatedly put into their minds, are just very depressing. Even the sounds of them are depressing, right? It's not really an upbeat type of feeling or energy, but like people will say, I listen to my song, what you talk about, Mary J. Blige? Like, okay. I hear you. It's a sad song. I've been searching for someone. I know that's 7 days, right? But it's sad. But never look before my eyes. There you were in my surprise. That's sad. Because she's talking about getting with the she's like, I've been searching. Like, okay, are you serious? I'm just saying. And Reminisce is basically saying, I'm not happy about right now. I want to think about another time when I was. I'm just, come on, man. I'm not trying to be bring that, Debbie Downer energy, right? I'm not Debbie, but Debbie like Devin. I'm not bringing a Devin Downer energy. I'm just saying, like, come on, man. Are we going to be real about why a lot of unconscious Moors misclassified as Negro, Black, colored, African American are really in the positions they are? Because there's been a psychological warfare that's been happening on their radios all their life, right? While attending high school, she began to write songs as a teen. Look, boom, there it is. There it is, as a teenager, right? She performed at a local talent show and at several festivals. I knew it. She got her first taste of acting as a child extra in Spike Lee's Malcolm X 1992. She's 12 at this time, man. And then Ted Dem's Who's the Man. She also had a couple of minor appearances in music videos, such as KRS-One, MCs Act Like They Don't Know, as well as Adolph's Ghetto Girl, right? Ashanti struggled to find success. I told you there was a struggle because I was like, maybe she had strep throat or something, but I just knew that something happened. But I want to see if it was dealing with health, but it probably wasn't, but we'll see. As a singer, after being courted by several record labels, I knew that, including Bad Boy and Jive. Despite this, she continued to perform in and around New York and began hanging out at the Murder Inc. recording studios, hoping for a big break. Okay, career. Let's see what we got here. Ashanti was first noticed by everybody because of her vocal skills. And we kind of already pointed that out. He asked her to pin hooks for his rap artist. That makes sense. Mercury and Scorpio.
Mm-hmm.
She's behind the scenes producing. That's what I was saying. Like she wanted some kind of control or had some kind of control. That makes so much sense. And to perform with them in duets. Ain't it funny? But anyway, ain't it funny? But anyway, Ashanti provided the melodic response to their call. Ashanti was first featured as a background vocalist, like Brother Sean had to highlight it. That's why I said, man, I really think she was in the background. Vocalist on rapper Big Pun, song How We Roll in the same year Ashanti was. So okay, so this is 2001 to 2003. She's clearly, didn't I say 21 about something else? I was like, bro, she was about 21 going on 22. That's that Saturn solar arcing that midheaven. Saturn at 2 degrees Libra, 44 minutes, solar arcing that midheaven at 4 degrees Scorpio, 3 minutes. Period. That's just it. That's just all. Period. That's how I knew. I was like, man, she's about 20, between 21 and 22. Bang, 2001, 2003. I can't make this up, guys. And I love it when I don't know somebody's history. And then we go in Wikipedia these things, and it's like, I literally read the chart and saw these events happen first. And then we look at this. It's like, looky, Astro Cookie. Right? This is interesting to kind of see these things, right? So Ashanti was featured on the fellow label made Cadillac Tar single, Holy City anthem, and Just Like a Thug Cool. Yeah, I kind of remember Cadillac Tar a little bit. She also appeared on the 2001 Fast and the Furious soundtrack as a featured artist on Vita's 2001 hip-hop remake Madonna's For You to Justify My Love. It got played on BET Uncut, for those of you that remember BET real late night, and they would play the uncut videos. Right?
Yeah, especially, you're the right age. You got to make sure you got the cartoons on one channel.
What? Yo. At a young age, so you can hurry up and hit previous channels.
Hit one button, so when it come up, you're like, yeah.
You're hilarious. Jesus Christ, yo. You're so hilarious, bro. And on the solo track, When a Man Does Wrong, she was then featured on Fat Joe's What's Love, right? What's love?
Got to do with it.
Right? And not always there when you call. Right? That's what I said. 21, between 21 and 22, I knew it, bro. I knew it. I'm like, man, that Saturn solar arcing that midheaven is telling. Especially with it exalted there, man. It's like, oh, okay, I see when that happened. And then, boom, Wikipedia confirms what I said. This is why I said, schedule your mirror AstroLiteracy sessions with Brother Hassan Ghazi Obey, and your mental magician reports with Brother Sean O'Neill. Anything else, Brother Sean? I mean, you can yield out on this. You let me know what you want to get into. We was looking for like relationship stuff too, but I'm gonna let it go.
Yeah, all it's showing is Nelly, which we already know it's probably anything else is gonna be behind the scenes. But Ashanti, if you come across this video, you can you can have 7 Hill Star do your thing for you. We don't speak on our querents, or they would call clients, quote unquote. So holla at us. But you said what is hiatus?
Right there. Yeah. What was that?
Man, I gotta find that Braveheart. I gotta find another You gotta find another tag.
Yo. I'm just like,
Okay,
man,
after a
what?
4-year hiatus, she released the song Never Too Far Away.
Here she's clearly 31. This is where she hits that. And what did I say about 30s? I said when she was about 37, that's what I said. 37. So that would be 2017, I think. But anywho, did I say that? Okay, yeah, I did. Yeah, because I wanted to see things. But okay. Yeah, I just wanted to see if anything popped up, going in on the hiatus. It doesn't. Just say, so she took some time off, and now she's doing it. Like, they tried to keep the why she took some time. It didn't say why. But anyway, so it's just giving you the pretty parts. Just no problem. We totally get that. So yeah, man. Okay.
19. Yeah, it's his personal life. Oh, you got one
Let's
sentence.
see. What year was that?
2 sentences. 2003.
Interessante. And then
they
I
met
said
2003.
I said
they
2017.
rekindled.
Go ahead.
I said, let's see, they met 2003, they dated, split after a decade, and rekindled in 2023.
Man, yo, they might do that tie to knot thing, man.
That would have been that during that 7th house perfection. Yeah, let's see. Yep, since she's now entering her 8th, yeah, that would have been during that 7th house perfection.
Yep. Yep. And now for our solar return, the 7th house is on the rise. You're gonna hear what they call wedding bells. You guys just let us know. Let us know if you see something.
Meet me at the altar and your white dress.
We ain't getting no Girl, let's just get married. I just want to get married. Yo. Yo, that is so hilarious, yo. Super duper hilarious. How you think we did, Exalted Cyclops? You there, bro? How you think we did, yo?
And another one.
And another
one.
We the best. 7 Hill Star. Brother C. Thomas says, I was trying. You. Yo, you're hilarious, yo. Brother C. Thomas says, I was trying not to be subjective, but mother. Oh, yeah, we saw that one. And then he says, yo, this is a super subject. Yo, yeah, I'm just saying, man. And he says, Scarface, Mary Jane remix. Oh, you saw that too. Yeah, got you, man. Guys, any questions, comments, and/or suggestions going once? Why did we do this, guys? Let me show you why we did this. We did this because we want you guys to come on out next day, right? Saturday, tomorrow, from 12 noon Eastern to 2 post-meridian Eastern, right? And adjust your time zones accordingly. So for you guys out there near the central time zone, it's from 11 to 1. For Pacific, that's 9 to 11. All righty. Share the screen here. All right. We want you guys to come on to
Let's get Mickey.
Let's get Mickey. I just want to get Mickey. You're hilarious, bro. So where are we? Did I pass it? It's classes and events, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I hit the wrong thing. I thought I didn't do it. So a moment. Pardon me. Classes and events. There we go. Boom shakalaka. There it is for the 14th October 2023. Astrology concepts correction. Guys, don't be afraid. Come on out. Ask your questions. We randomly went over this. Really, this doesn't zoom in like that? I'm about to say, what in the hookity heckers? Astrology concepts correction discussion. If you're not a part of the Universally Professional Astrology Community, TUPAC, it is 30 units for non-members. However, if you have a student card and you're a non-member, it's 15 units. If you want the recording, just add 10 notes, at least a 10-note donation, add it on to whatever it is for you non-members, right? If you're a student card carrying non-member, it'll be 25 if you want the recording. If you're a non-member with no student card, of course, it'll be 40 for you if you want the recording. Don't be scared. You will learn a lot about astrology. I mean, we went in last Saturday. Man, we went in on the Arabian points, or known as the lots, or the Arabian parts, or Arabic parts. That's all synonymous. Arabian points, Arabian parts, Arabic parts, the lots, right? We went over those, right? If you are a member, you already know, come on through. And it's just gonna be 5 units in lieu of lawful money for that. I know what I need to do is probably just download that joint tonight to put last Saturday's joint into our little TUPAC Google Drive that we have. Right, but I was just really just counting on people that's really downloading it, because you know, after a while we gotta keep, you know, transacting energy until we put documentation necessary to be like, hey, you storage saving beings on the internet, give us free. So
Keep us a storage.
I know, right? So check I and Brother Sean out. Alrighty, you'll probably see a brief advertisement there also, so you guys won't be disappointed to know what it is. And if you guys are on TikTok, make sure you follow 7 Hill Star and Astrology Street, as well as Leo Mercury Moor 711, as Brother Sean TikTok, as well as official 720 Astral Healing, right? So yes, let us discuss simplifying astrology in our minds by considering correcting our concepts, right? The recorded discussion files are 10 extra for those that desire to have the recorded discussions, right? However, for members, TUPAC members, it's at least a 5-unit donation. So you give at least 5 units and you can have access to the video, right? All offline payments are via CashApp. However, we can do Zelle and Google Pay now, guys. Also, just let us know what you prefer as far as Zelle or Google Pay. Just really let us know, right? So with that being said, make sure you come on out. And this is why we did this today. We did all this pertaining to Ashanti so you guys can see what concepts we go over. But on Saturdays, we actually have discussions about explaining it and why and what's the reasoning for going at certain things certain ways to be able to see them. Because what you can do first and foremost is study yourselves, right? That's what we are to do, us being Moorish American. However, if you're not Moorish American, come on through, because still the principle is the same for you. You must be studying yourself, period. There's no way around it, right? So again, that's for the Universally Professional Astrology Community, who is presenting Astrology Concepts Discussion, or the Astrology Concepts Correction Discussion, for 14th October 2023, Saturday, at noon to 1400 Eastern. That is 12 post-meridian to 2 post-meridian Eastern, right, PM. All right, you guys see what it is there, and the Zoom and passcode are there also. So come on through. I might, just might, make it so that if you are on TikTok and you see the link in the description on 7 Hill Star, if you just click it, you'll be able to join. However, be considerate, and you know, because I am going to probably check you at the gate, like, hey, make sure you give your you know, means to be here, right? So you guys can respect our energy and what we're doing. We do more than enough charity, you know, 4 days out of a 7-day cycle. So I would say make sure you be ready to come to give your 30 or 15, at least if you're not a member. All righty. If you have a student card, just show me your student card. That's it. That's all you gotta do. Show me your student card. It'll be good. I can always pause the video. Hold on, let me pause the video. Let me see your student card. Okay, cool. Make sure you send that 15, but you can handle things beforehand, right? You guys can email us, DM us, go on 7hillstar.com, guys. We have, see that box right there at the bottom right? All you got to do is hit that little purple box at the bottom right, and you hit that, you can immediately chat, especially now since I have the app ready. Because at first I would just have to go to my browser and respond to you, but now the app notifies me because I made sure if any of you guys reach out to us through our live chat. I can respond immediately. All right. And I can discuss things with you there. All right, Brother Sean, questions, comments, and or suggestions going Twizzeyes.
Yeah, y'all make sure y'all get join Teapot University. You'll get free, to all our Saturday discussions, and you get 2 recordings, to see how we go in, and like I said, just go ahead and get that, join, support, share, and continue to show up on Saturdays for the concepts, and just see like, wow, and be able to look at your own chart. Then, son, you can go look at somebody else's chart. I'll keep it real. I went and looked at Maya's chart. I'm like, they both Libras. No wonder why they cool. But, and then just go look at your favorite, celebrities or actors or writers, poets, and maybe there's something about them that y'all share. So that could be why you're so drawn to, that being, so multiple benefits and uses, and make sure you get your Synastry sessions because you already know it's cuffing season. So make sure y'all get that in too. Right?
Indeed.
Yeah.
Appreciate you all. No questions, comments, and or suggestions going thrice. Brother Sean's going to lead us out with our invocation out. You can extend all 5 appendages on your left hand, index in the middle on the right. Going to face east, which is symbolic metaphysically to going within while standing with our feet on a 45-degree angle. You can repeat after Brother Sean, either aloud or in your hearts.
Islam. Allah, the Father of the universe.
Allah, the Father of the universe.
The Father of love.
Father of love.
Truth.
Peace.
Freedom.
And
justice.
Allah
is my protector. My guide. And my salvation. By night. And by day. Through his holy prophet. Noble Drew Ali. Amen. Right.
Indeed, guys. Thank you all so much. Brother C. Thomas says, cuffing season.
All
right. Guys, make sure you rest and recharge well. I'm going to get me a little victuals because I've been kind of intermittently fasting, by choice, actually, but having a little bit of fun with it because I'm seeing some things about myself. Shout out to all my loved ones out there, especially my beloved mother, mistress, consort, and home love, please. It's just so amazing to be supportive and have support all at the same time. Amazing mom, right? It's so interesting too because man, our littlest one is just so demanding. It's like, mommy, I gotta be a Velcro baby. So shout out to our sons also. Our eldest son was supposed to be here kicking it with me, but he had some other things that he had to knock out. You know what I mean? But you guys probably be seeing, my eldest, one of my eldest, in comparison to, our youngest son, actually, kick it right here with his blue fez on drip, like he had earlier. However, with that being said, guys, rest and recharge well. We'll see you all next day, Saturday, tomorrow, right? At 12 noon Eastern, 11 Central, 9 a.m. Pacific, right? All right, guys, where we say we love you all. Rest and recharge well. Namaste. Get on TikTok. Islam, y'all.
Peace. Peace.